Hi everybody, Andy Kravlicha here. Now I've been getting a couple of responses from people who say, hey Andy, somebody signed their name all over your bass. Who is it? What's the story? Well, I thought I'd give you the inside story. Now to start with, this is not originally my bass. It used to belong to a guy called Gustav Stenbeck who played bass in a band called Griffin. If you've never heard of a band called Griffin, there's no shame on you. We only released one demo. We eventually devolved into a Carmageddon 2 Carpocalypse Now playing club, although we used to dabble in Rainbow Six Rogue Spear as well. But this bass did belong to him, and it's a 6-string bass. It's an Ibanez SR406 to be exact, and there's two reasons why this bass may be different to most other 6-string basses you've heard of. The first is the signature, and we'll get back to that. The other one is the tuning. Now, most 6-string basses will have an inner core of 4 strings, which will be the normal 4-string bass tones, E, A, D, and G. And they'll have a low B string, like a 7-string guitar, and a high B or sometimes C string. Now, this bass is a little bit different. It's tuned E to E, so it kind of plays like a guitar. You can play G chords on it. So that's very cool for reasons of Gus's originality and for reasons of being able to double guitar lines as efficiently as possible. Now it also works out pretty well for me because I'm not a trained bass player. I am a guitarist who dabbles in playing bass, so it's very, very easy to transform guitar lines onto the bass using this particular tuning. The only thing you have to watch out for is this lower string, which is actually so thin it comes from a different instrument. It comes from an instrument called the bajo sexto, which is like a super long scale guitar. And these strings are very hard to get a hold of. They're about $30–35 each. So you better pray you never break this this tiny little string in the back. Now here's the active electronics, but above these is the signature, which is the main reason I'm making this video. The signature belongs to the great Marcel Jacob. Marcel Jacob of Yngwie Malmsteen, John Norum, and Talisman fame, one of the great bass names of the 20th century. And for Gus and me, for both of us, he was our hero. We used to call him Old Angel Eyes, and it was a very humbling experience for me to find out that Andreas Blomqvist from Seventh Wonder, which I was in at the time, was actually a bass student for Marcel Jacob. So one day we took this draft of a record deal, which we ended up not signing because it was a crap deal. We took it to Marcel's house. So before that, I kind of said to Gus, I was like, "Hey Gus, can I borrow your bass? Because I need it for some stuff." And I bought a gold pen, and we went into Marcel's house, shook hands with the guy, and I said, "Hey Marcel, how would you mind signing my friend's bass?" And he did, and I brought the bass back to Gus, and I said, "I'm sorry, some guy scribbled his name all over it." And I said, "Oh, it's by the way, it's Marcel Jacob." And he was floored. It was a wonderful experience. And a couple of years ago, when he kind of hung up the towel, Gus gave me this bass, I suppose because he thought it would be of better use and featured in more music and so on. And so I will keep playing this signed Marcel Jacob bass. You'll see it in videos like John Norum's Love Is Meant to Last Forever, which I'll post up here. Now that is a bass line written by Marcel Jacob, played on a bass signed by Marcel Jacob. It reinforces the idea that I'm a pretty lucky person. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for asking this question. Please do not hesitate to ask me any questions you want to. But for now, tomorrow's another day. Time to play.